Did you know that Pluto is smaller than our own moon? It's true. But don't let that fool you. This tiny world, billions of miles away, is packed with wonder. Pluto may be small, but it's mighty in its own right. Pluto is a fascinating and complex world. It has towering mountains, vast plains, and a thin atmosphere. Pluto even has 5 moons of its own. This makes it a fascinating place to study. Many people were saddened when Pluto was reclassified as a dwarf planet, but this doesn't make Pluto any less interesting. In fact, it just adds to its unique charm. Pluto is a reminder that there is still so much to learn about our solar system. Pluto is a fascinating world that deserves our attention. It is a reminder that there is still so much to explore in our universe. Pluto may be small, but it is a giant in terms of its scientific value. Pluto's orbit is unlike any other planet in our solar system. It's a wild, elliptical path that takes it on a roller coaster ride around the Sun. At its closest, Pluto is closer to the Sun than Neptune. At its farthest, it's billions of miles farther out. This unusual orbit means that Pluto experiences extreme temperature changes. When it's closer to the Sun, Pluto's surface ice sublimates, creating a thin atmosphere. When it's farther away, the atmosphere freezes and falls back to the surface. This constant change makes Pluto a dynamic and ever-changing world. It's one of the reasons why scientists are so eager to learn more about it. Pluto's orbit is a celestial dance full of wonder and intrigue. Despite its unusual orbit, Pluto is tidally locked to its largest moon, Charon. This means that the same side of Pluto always faces Charon. Imagine having a moon that never sets. This is just one of the many things that make Pluto so unique. Pluto has a long and complicated history with the word planet. Discovered in 1930 by Clyde Tombaugh, Pluto was immediately welcomed as the 9th planet in our solar system. School children memorized its place in the planetary lineup. However, in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, astronomers began to discover other objects in the outer solar system, similar in size and orbit to Pluto. This led to a debate about what defines a planet. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union, or IAU, created a new definition of a planet, and Pluto, unfortunately, didn't make the cut. It was reclassified as a dwarf planet. This decision was met with mixed reactions, with some people even starting petitions to reinstate Pluto's planetary status. The debate continues today, with some scientists arguing that Pluto should be reclassified as a planet. They point to its complex geology, its atmosphere, and its multiple moons as evidence that Pluto is more than just a dwarf planet. Whatever the outcome, Pluto remains a fascinating and important object in our solar system. Pluto isn't alone in its corner of the solar system. It's actually part of a binary system with its largest moon, Charon. Charon is so large compared to Pluto that the two objects actually orbit a common center of gravity that lies between them. This makes Pluto and Charon more like a double planet system than a planet-moon system. This unique relationship is just one of the many things that make Pluto so interesting. But wait, there's more. Pluto also has 4 smaller moons, Nix, Hydra, Kerberos, and Styx. These moons are much smaller than Charon, but they are still incredibly interesting to scientists. They believe that studying these moons can teach us more about the formation of Pluto and the early solar system. Imagine the view from Pluto's surface, a giant Charon hanging in the sky with 4 smaller moons dancing around it. It would be a sight unlike anything we can see from Earth. Pluto and its moons are a miniature solar system all their own. Section 5. The Kuiper Belt, Pluto's neighborhood. Pluto isn't just a lone wolf in the outer solar system. It actually resides in a vast and mysterious region known as the Kuiper Belt. This donut-shaped region beyond Neptune is home to countless icy objects, remnants from the early solar system. Pluto is one of the largest known Kuiper Belt objects, but it's certainly not alone. Astronomers believe that there are millions of objects in the Kuiper Belt, many of them still undiscovered. These objects are like time capsules, preserving clues about the conditions that existed when our solar system was born. By studying Pluto and other Kuiper Belt objects, scientists hope to learn more about how our solar system formed and evolved. Who knows what other secrets lie hidden in the depths of the Kuiper Belt? Perhaps there are other dwarf planets out there, even larger than Pluto, just waiting to be discovered. The Kuiper Belt is a vast and unexplored frontier, and Pluto is our guide to this mysterious realm. Section 6. New Horizons, Unveiling Pluto's Secrets. For decades, Pluto was little more than a blurry dot in the telescopes of astronomers. But in 2015, everything changed. NASA's New Horizons spacecraft completed its historic flyby of Pluto, sending back the first close-up images of this distant world. The images were breathtaking, revealing a world far more complex and diverse than anyone had imagined. New Horizons showed us towering mountains made of ice, vast plains of frozen nitrogen, and a surprisingly young surface with few craters. The spacecraft also revealed that Pluto has a thin atmosphere, composed mostly of nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. It even discovered evidence of ancient lakes and rivers of liquid nitrogen on Pluto's surface. New Horizons revolutionized our understanding of Pluto, transforming it from a blurry dot into a real world with its own unique features and history. The data sent back by New Horizons will keep scientists busy for decades to come. Section 7. Pluto's surface, mountains of ice and plains of nitrogen. Imagine a world with mountains taller than the Rockies, but instead of rock, they're made of solid ice. That's Pluto. New Horizons revealed that Pluto's surface is surprisingly diverse, with towering mountains, vast plains, and even what appeared to be ancient glaciers. The mountains are thought to be made mostly of water ice, which is as hard as rock at Pluto's frigid temperatures. These mountains likely formed through tectonic activity, indicating that Pluto's interior may still be warm and active. Pluto's plains, on the other hand, are covered in frozen nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. These plains are incredibly smooth, suggesting that they are relatively young and have been resurfaced by some unknown process. Scientists believe that the plains are constantly changing, with new ice being deposited and old ice sublimating into the atmosphere. Pluto's surface is a dynamic and ever-changing landscape full of surprises. Section 8. A heart of ice. Pluto's frozen plains. One of the most striking features on Pluto's surface is a giant heart-shaped region known informally as Tombaugh Regio, named after Pluto's discoverer. This region is actually a vast plain of frozen nitrogen, with very few craters. The left lobe of the heart, known as Sputnik Planitia, is particularly interesting. It's incredibly smooth, suggesting that it's very young, geologically speaking. Scientists believe that Sputnik Planitia may be a giant impact basin that was later filled with nitrogen ice. This nitrogen ice is thought to be constantly flowing and churning, much like glaciers on Earth. This process may be responsible for erasing craters and keeping Sputnik Planitia looking young and smooth. The heart of Pluto is not just a pretty face. It's a window into the complex and fascinating geology of this distant world. It's a reminder that even in the coldest reaches of our solar system, there is still activity and change. Section 9. A thin atmosphere breathing on Pluto. Hold your breath. While Pluto's atmosphere is incredibly thin, it does exist. It's composed mostly of nitrogen, with traces of methane and carbon monoxide. This thin atmosphere is thought to be created when the sun's heat causes surface ice to sublimate, or transition directly from a solid to a gas. When Pluto is closer to the sun, its atmosphere is thicker. As Pluto moves farther away, the atmosphere freezes and falls back to the surface as snow. This creates a seasonal cycle on Pluto, with the atmosphere expanding and contracting over its 248-year orbit. Pluto's atmosphere is so thin that you wouldn't be able to breathe it. In fact, the air pressure on Pluto is about 100,000 times less than the air pressure on Earth. If you stood on Pluto's surface without a spacesuit, your blood would boil. But even though Pluto's atmosphere is thin, it still plays an important role in shaping the dwarf planet's surface. It helps to distribute heat, creates winds, and even forms clouds. Section 10. Pluto's significance more than just a dwarf planet. Pluto may be small, but it's a giant in terms of its scientific significance. It's a time capsule from the early solar system, preserving clues about the conditions that existed when our planets were forming. By studying Pluto, we can learn more about how our own solar system formed and evolved. Pluto is also a reminder that there is still so much to explore in our universe. It's a world of surprises, full of unexpected features and mysteries. Pluto has challenged our definition of a planet and forced us to rethink our place in the cosmos. Pluto's story is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning. As we continue to explore the Kuiper Belt and beyond, we are sure to make even more amazing discoveries that will change our understanding of the universe. Section 11. The future of Pluto. What's next? The New Horizons flyby was just the beginning of our exploration of Pluto. Scientists are still analyzing the data from the spacecraft, and there are sure to be many more discoveries to come. Some scientists are already calling for a new mission to Pluto, one that would orbit the dwarf planet and study it in even greater detail. Such a mission could tell us even more about Pluto's atmosphere, its surface, and its interior. It could also help us to better understand the other objects in the Kuiper Belt. Pluto is a fascinating world that has captured our imaginations. It's a reminder that there is still so much out there to explore, and that the universe is full of surprises. Who knows what the future holds for Pluto? Perhaps one day it will even regain its status as a planet. But one thing is for sure, Pluto will continue to fascinate and inspire us for many years to come.